A 200-foot fall, collapsed lungs, every bone in his face broken, along with almost every bone on the left side of his body from the waist up.
A heart attack, a stroke, and a weeks-long medically induced coma. Daniel Henderson lived it, and he says it's not even the hardest thing he's been through.
But alcohol gave me comfort, and I felt empty, like an empty spot in my heart. But when I was intoxicated and drunk, all my problems went away. Everything was perfect.
We first told you about Daniel Henderson a year ago this month. The Blue Ash Man was hiking in Utah when he fell 200 feet into a canyon and then had to be rescued by a helicopter.
You're seeing that rescue play out here behind us. Now he's back in the tri-state, and only on 9 he tells reporter Lucy May that recovering from those life-threatening injuries was actually easier than recovering from addiction.
This is Daniel Henderson on March 30th, 2018, a rescue helicopter pulling his broken body from a Utah canyon, a sheet obscuring him as paramedics work to keep him alive.
I was all bloody. I had 2 collapsed lungs. I laid on my left side, so I broke pretty much everything from the waist up my left side. I had a heart attack. I died for 5 minutes on the table in the hospital because my body was in so much shock.
This is Henderson now, shooting hoops with his friend Wes Dietlein at Swaim Park near where Henderson grew up.
I had to relearn how to walk again. I had to relearn how to tie my shoes. I had to relearn how to eat, even a little bit. I had to relearn how to button up my shirt. I had to relearn how to go to the bathroom. I had to relearn everything.
Dietlein was hiking with Henderson that day in Utah.
My worst fear was when I finally got a visual on Daniel. I saw just how far he had fallen. He was face down, and I remember telling the 911 dispatcher, I think he might be dead.
But as hard as it has been for Henderson to recover from his fall and the traumatic brain injury he suffered as a result, he says it was easier than his recovery from depression, anxiety, and addiction as a teenager.
My battle with addiction, mental health, was a lot harder than my fall and recovery from a 200-foot fall off a cliff.
Now Henderson is working to help others, whether they're recovering from addiction or a traumatic brain injury. He wants to show it's possible to survive the worst that life throws at you.
Life doesn't get easier getting sober, but it becomes more manageable, or even in instances where it's not so manageable, such as an accident like that, we learn new ways to work around, work through trauma and through these situations.
I hope through my recovery I can be an example and give hope to others.
Lucy May, 9 on your side.
And you can read more about how Henderson is helping others recovering from addiction and from traumatic brain injuries right now in Lucy's digital story on WCPO.com.